All right, CoinTalk Podcast listeners, buckle up. Today we're diving headfirst into the Pi network price crash after its mainnet launch.
Yeah, it's been quite a roller coaster ride, hasn't it?
Huge ups and even bigger downs.
You got that right.
So whether you've been following Pi network closely, you're just generally into crypto, or maybe you just love a good what went wrong story, this deep dive is definitely for you.
It's going to be a wild one.
Oh, for sure. So let's quickly set the stage for anyone who might not be totally up to speed.
Okay, good idea.
Pi network, remember, it's that cryptocurrency project that kind of blew up with its tap-to-earn model.
You know, letting people mine Pi coins right on their phones.
Exactly. They had tons of buzz. But when their mainnet finally went live on February 20th, 2025...
The price started at $2.
$2, not bad. But then...
Just 2 days later.
Boom, it completely tanks.
Wiping out a staggering $6 billion in value.
Yeah, talk about a crash landing.
Ouch.
So what on earth happened? Well, that's exactly what we're here to figure out. You brought some really fascinating sources to the table.
Absolutely.
So let's dive in and see if we can make sense of this whole Pi network saga.
Let's do it.
All right, so one of the most explosive things I saw in the research was this whole scam accusation.
Yeah, that was a bombshell.
For sure.
Yeah.
Ben Zhu, the CEO of Bybit, remember, the second largest crypto exchange out there?
Big name.
Yeah. He straight up called Pi network a scam.
Based on a Chinese police report from 2023, no less?
Right, and that report was pretty damning.
Oh, yeah.
It accused Pi network of targeting elderly people.
Leaking their personal data.
And potentially even leading to pension losses.
Wow.
Now, Pi network, of course, completely denied these accusations, right?
Naturally.
They claim they've been developing a genuine project for 6 years.
6 years.
But here's the thing. The timing of Zhu's statement is a little suspicious, don't you think?
Yeah, a bit.
It happened right around the same time as a massive $1.4 billion hack on his own exchange, Bybit.
Interesting.
So it makes you wonder...
Right. Was this a genuine concern about Pi network?
Or was it a clever way to try and deflect attention from his own troubles?
Well, that's the million-dollar question.
It really is. What do you think, CoinTalk Podcast viewers? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your thoughts.
But even if we put the whole scam accusation aside for a second,
Okay.
there's another very likely culprit at play here.
Let's hear it.
Plain old panic selling.
Ah, a classic.
A tale as old as time in the markets, right?
Definitely.
And with Pi Network's tap-to-earn model, I think the panic selling might have been even more amplified.
I see where you're going with this.
A lot of those pre-mainted token holders.
They're probably thinking back to other tap-to-earn tokens.
Exactly. Ones that crashed and burned.
And never recovered.
Yeah, so they might have been like, okay, the second this coin hits the market, I'm out.
Makes sense.
Fearing those further losses.
They didn't want to be left holding the bag.
Right. And there's historical precedent for this too.
Like what?
Well, all the tap-to-earn tokens on the TON blockchain,
Oh, yeah. I remember those.
including some pretty popular ones.
Like Not Coin and Hamster Combat.
Those crashed hard after their mainnet launches.
Yeah, they did.
So is this just a pattern repeating itself? Or is there something unique about Pi Network that made this crash even more severe?
It's a great question. What do you guys think? Hit us up in the comments on this CoinTalk podcast video and let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear your insights. Don't forget to like this video and share it with your crypto-curious friends too.
The more, the merrier.
Now, before we move on, it's important to remember that Pi Network isn't the only one going through some turbulence right now.
No, not at all.
A lot of recently launched tokens.
They've been facing similar crashes.
Even without all that scam drama,
True.
we've got to look at the bigger picture here.
The wider crypto market?
Exactly. Things are not looking so hot overall.
Not really.
Bitcoin, it's in a correction phase.
And a lot of those popular altcoins.
They're down from their highs too. Yeah, it's rough out there.
Take Wormhole, for example.
Wormhole.
Yeah, remember it peaked at $1.60 after its airdrop.
Okay.
Now it's struggling at $1.18.
Oof.
Or ZK Sync.
Oh yeah, CC.
It soared to $0.2942 at one point.
That's a big jump.
And now it's down to $0.10.
Big drop.
Even those blue chip coins.
The supposedly safe bet.
Like Eigenlayer,
Okay.
which reached $5.60 back in 2024.
$5.60. Wow.
It's dropped to $2.
Ouch.
So, Pi Network's crashed.
It's not happening in a vacuum.
Right, it's part of a larger trend here.
Definitely.
And to understand that trend a bit better,
Yeah.
we got to talk about this thing called the Crypto Fear and Greed Index.
What's that?
It basically measures market sentiment,
Okay.
and it's been on a wild swing.
How so?
It went from extreme greed A score of 88.
88. That's high.
Super high. But now it's at a much more neutral 40.
That's a big shift.
Yeah. It basically means the environment for new crypto launches.
It's not so friendly these days.
Not at all. And unfortunately, Pi Network, it launched right smack in the middle of this shift.
Talk about bad timing.
Ooh.
It's almost like the stock market, you know?
How so?
Like when a new company goes public.
Right, an IPO.
Yeah. They tend to do better in a bull market.
When everything's going up.
Exactly. Same principle applies in the crypto world.
I see.
So we've got these scam accusations,
Sure.
panic selling,
Oh.
a wider market downturn,
Yeah, good.
all potentially contributing to Pi Network's crash.
Seems like we've covered a lot.
We have. But what do you think, CoinTalk Podcast listeners? Are we missing something crucial here?
Yeah, chime in. Let us know your thoughts.
Now, this is just part one of our Pi Network deep dive, so make sure you stick around.
We've got a lot more to uncover.
We'll be right back after a short break to delve even deeper.
Stay tuned. And we're back, diving deeper into the Pi Network crash here on CoinTalk Podcast.
And we've got some seriously interesting comments coming in from our viewers.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people are wondering about Pi Network's whole tap-to-earn model and whether it can actually hold up in the long run.
It's a valid question for sure.
Like, can a cryptocurrency really succeed just because it's easy to mine?
That's the debate, isn't it?
Our viewers are bringing up some great comparisons to the early days of Bitcoin.
Okay, I like this.
Back then, mining was relatively simple too, right?
Yeah, especially compared to now.
But Bitcoin's real value, it came later.
As it gained wider acceptance.
And people actually started using it for things.
Right, real-world applications.
So it's a good reminder that Pi Network,
It can't just rely on the ease of mining.
it needs to build a whole ecosystem
With real-world use cases.
if it wants to survive.
Absolutely.
And that brings us to another big factor,
Hit me.
the whole regulatory landscape.
Oh.
Governments around the world.
They're still trying to figure out this whole crypto thing.
And some of their approaches,
They haven't exactly been crypto-friendly.
not at all. We've seen everything from outright bans
Wow.
to super complex regulations around taxes and compliance.
It's a minefield.
And that uncertainty.
It creates huge obstacles for any
It's
cryptocurrency.
actually a new one like Pi Network.
Trying to find its footing.
Exactly. And speaking of obstacles,
What else we got?
security.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
Crypto has been plagued by hacks, scams, rug pulls,
All that fun stuff.
and it really hurts investor confidence.
For sure.
So if Pi Network wants to thrive,
They got to prioritize security.
make their platform trustworthy.
Absolutely.
Now let's shift gears for a bit.
Okay, where are we going?
Let's talk about social media.
Social media. Interesting.
It played a huge role in Pi Network's rise, right?
Yeah, they got a lot of initial traction through word-of-mouth marketing.
And online buzz.
All those viral posts.
It was a really effective strategy.
In the beginning, at least.
They built a strong community.
Got people excited.
But here's the thing about social media.
It's a double-edged sword,
It can turn on you just as quickly.
especially when things go south.
Like with this price crash,
Ouch.
negative sentiment spreads like wildfire online
Leading to even more panic selling.
and driving the price down further.
Get a vicious cycle.
So we've got scam accusations, panic selling, a wider market downturn, regulatory uncertainty, security concerns, and the powerful influence of social media.
Wow, that's a lot to juggle.
A whole lot of factors.
It's all tangled up.
And they've all played a part in Pi Network's crash.
It's like a perfect storm.
Almost.
Hmm?
But there's one more piece of the puzzle we need to discuss.
Okay, lay it on me.
Pi Network. They launched with 100 apps.
100 apps.
Yeah, that's right.
That's ambitious.
They're aiming to build out their ecosystem,
With apps for everything.
from social networking and gaming
To financial services and education.
to casting a wide net
Hoping to attract users.
and drive adoption of Pi Coin,
Bold move.
for sure. But is it enough?
Can they really turn things around with this app strategy?
That's the big question. What do you think, CoinTalk Podcast viewers?
Do you see any potential in Pi Network's app ecosystem?
Let us know in the comments. And while you're down there, hit that like button and subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast for more deep dives like this.
We'll be right back to explore whether Pi Network's app strategy can actually lead to a recovery.
Welcome back to CoinTalk Podcast. We're wrapping up our deep dive into the Pi Network crash and the big question on everyone's minds.
Can they bounce back?
Exactly. And as we talked about before, Pi Network is putting a lot of faith in those 100 apps they launched with.
Right, hoping to build out a whole ecosystem.
Yeah, the idea is that these apps will create real-world uses for Pi Coin.
boost demand, and hopefully push the price back up.
Sounds good in theory, but building a successful ecosystem, it's not easy.
No, it's definitely not a walk in the park.
We've seen a lot of crypto projects try and fail.
Yeah, it's a tough road.
So Pi Network really needs to prove that these apps are more than just a gimmick.
They gotta solve real problems for people.
Create genuine value.
Otherwise, it's just smoke and mirrors.
What do you think, CoinTalk Podcast viewers? Do you see any potential in Pi Network's app ecosystem? Are there any apps that stand out to you? Let's chat about it in the comments.
Yeah, jump in. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
And while you're down there, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to CoinTalk Podcast for more deep dives just like this.
We appreciate the support.
Now, one thing to think about is whether these apps can attract users beyond the existing Pi Network community.
That's a key point.
To really succeed, they need to appeal to a wider audience.
People who might not even know about Pi Network or crypto in general.
They got to break out of their niche and go mainstream.
Easier said than done, though.
Definitely. And let's not forget about the competition.
Oh yeah, Pi Network isn't playing in an empty field.
They're up against established players with huge user bases and proven track records.
So they need to offer something truly unique.
Something that sets them apart.
It's a tough challenge.
But hey, we've seen underdogs disrupt the crypto space before.
That's true. It's happened.
So it all comes down to execution.
Can Pi Network actually deliver on their promises?
Can they build a thriving ecosystem that attracts developers, users, and investors?
Only time will tell.
That's the exciting thing about crypto, right?
Yeah.
It's always changing, always evolving.
Yeah. There's never a dull moment.
The Pi Network story is a fascinating case study.
It shows the volatility of this market.
The potential.
The sheer unpredictability.
It's a reminder that in the crypto world, you got to stay informed, stay curious, and maybe just a little bit skeptical.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that wraps up our Pi Network deep dive. Thanks for joining us, CoinTalk Podcast family.
It's been a blast.
Make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on our future episodes.
We'll be back soon with more insights and analysis from the world of crypto.
Until then, stay curious, stay informed, and stay tuned.